Okay, this is a video about the triangle inequality theorem. At this point, we've already done a little bit of exploring this inequality theorem and trying to figure out how it works. So these are just going to show exactly what it is, as well as go over some practice problems. So the triangle inequality theorem states that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the lengths of the third side. So for example, if I have a triangle and its lengths are 3, 4, and 5. That means to prove that this is a triangle, I could add any of the sides, and I should make sure to add all of them. Now, when I'm looking for them, the next side, I just look for two sides, but it proves that if I add any of them together, I should get a number greater than the third side. So say I add the two smaller ones. So 3 plus 4 is going to be greater than 5 because 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 is greater than 5. I can also do 4 and 5. 4 plus 5 is greater than 3, which is true. 9 is greater than 3. And then I could do 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 is greater than 4, because yes, 8 is greater than 4. Realistically though, if the smaller two work, the two smallest sides are bigger when you add them together than the third side, the longest side, then it is definitely a triangle, because then all the other ones would work as well. Okay, so this first example says, the two sides of an isosceles triangle are 10 and 4. What must be the length of the other side? So our options for this triangle are for the triangle to be a 10, 10, and 4, because isosceles triangles has two equal sides, or to be a 4, 4, and 10. So if we take two of the sides of the triangle, so say for example the two shortest sides, 4 and 10, if I add 4 and 10 together, I get 14, which is greater than 10, because 14 is greater than 10. So this triangle works. If I do that for this triangle, if I add 4 and 4 together to get a number greater than 10, I get 8 is greater than 10, which is not true. So this cannot be the answer. So the two sides of an isosceles triangle are 10 and 4. What must be the length of the other side? It must be 10. Next example says, if the lengths of two sides of a triangle are 3 and 7, the third side must be less than what number? So we're going to add them together. So we do 3 plus 7 is 10. So the third side must be less than 10. In order to make a triangle. It says, and this was a part of something else, it says if two sides of a triangle have sides lengths 8 and 15, write an inequality which represents a possible length of the third side. So to do this, we're trying to figure out what two numbers, and we could write it in inequality form, what two numbers the third side has to be between in order for it to make a triangle. So to find the lowest number, we subtract. So we do 15 minus 8, which equals 7. So it has to be 7. So x has to be greater than 7. And then to find the biggest side, we add them together. So 15 plus 8 is 23. So it's 23. And in the practice today, the way I have you writing this out is you would write 7 and 23, because it has to be between 7 and 23 to make a triangle. The next example says, if the lengths of two sides of a triangle are 4 and 12, the third side must be greater than what number? To figure out what side it's going to be greater than, we subtract the two numbers. We do 12 minus 4, which is 8, so it must be greater than 8. Okay. Write an inequality, which represents the possible length of the third side of a triangle if two of the sides of the triangle are 8. So that means that we have an isosceles triangle where two sides are 8. We're trying to figure out what the smallest side could be and what the biggest side could be. To define what it needs to be greater than, we do 8 minus 8, which is 0. So it has to be a number 0. So x must be greater than 0 and less than what we get when we add them together, which is 16. So that means that our third side needs to be between 0 and 16. Is it possible to make a triangle that has sides that measure 8 inches, 2 inches, and 4 inches? So we take the two smaller numbers and we add them together. So we do 2 plus 4, and it has to be greater than 8. So 2 plus 4 is 6, which is not greater than 8. So the answer is no. This does not make a triangle. If the lengths of two sides of a triangle are 5 and 7, the third side of the triangle has to be greater than what number? To figure out the number it's greater than, we subtract. So 7 minus 5 is 2. So it must be greater than 2.